Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I will be taking you into a sneak peek of how I do an analysis for my handwriting samples. Now I will be discussing the top 10 things. There are definitely more than these 10 things that I looked at. I'll just be discussing the main ones which any graphologist will look at a very basic level. Starting with zones. Now in graphology there are 3 zones: upper, middle and lower. The upper zone is the domain of the mind, so it contains all we think, create, imagine, hope, and what we can think, fantasize about, etc. The middle zone represents our ego. It's about our daily life. It indicates whether we are happy or not, or we can reveal much about us or not. Are we insecure? Are we childish? The third zone is the lower zone. Now this represents the lower body, and it contains things like instincts, urges, longings, desires, and many more things. Now, depending on any stroke or any thrust, if it's in balance, all the zones, if any zone is extended, overly extended, many more things like that, and each of them have their own meaning. Second thing that I look at is baseline. If it's steady, that indicates relaxation, closer to a healthy whole person. If it's tugged up, that means the person has ego concerns or is instinctual. If it's rigid, that means there's a personality trouble. And the baseline also indicates the mood, morale, social control, temperament, flexibility, ego, and much more about a person. The one you see here is rigid straight. Show you another sample. Now here when you look at it, it looks like it's straight, but when you compare it to the straight of the paper, it shows that there is a rising in the slant, in the slope of the line. Now this has a different meaning in itself. This shows the more optimistic nature, ambitious, more encouraging, excitable nature of the person. Different kinds of baselines can show different kinds of moods and indicate a different personality of a person. The third thing that is very important is the slant in letters. There are 3 categories of slants: reclined, vertical, and inclined, and then there are subcategories in reclined and inclined. The slants indicate many things. For example, the social nature, emotional expression, judgment, confidence, and much more to say. Or they can be unstable, and there also can be sudden changes, like a person starts writing straight and then starts inclining to one side. Fourth and fifth thing I've clubbed together is the space between words and the size of the words. Now the size of the words tells us various things about the social skills of the person, their confidence, how much they like communicating with others. The space between letters in a word tells about the relationship of the person with themselves, and the space between the words tell about the person's relationship with other people. Now there can be several combinations like wide spaces between words but less space between letters, more space between the words and more space between letters, and many more, which indicate different things. The sixth point is spacing between lines. Now this indicates the orderliness, clarity of thinking, and the amount of interaction that a writer wishes to have with his environment. Now this can be normal, crowded, tangled, very close, too far away. Seventh point is margins. Now there are several permutation and combinations for a margin, and each permutation and combination indicates a different thing. I'll just give a few examples here. A crushed right margin indicates dangerous impulsiveness. A left margin widening as it descends indicates a flow of ideas. A left narrowing margin when it descends indicates original starting but then losing spontaneity. And there are several permutations that can be made with this, and there will be a video in itself. Very important part to analyze of any handwriting sample is strokes and shapes. Now these comes in different types like garland, arcade, angled, triangle, cross, many more. Not too many actually, but there can be combinations like a combination of arcade and garland, combination of angled with arcade, irregular, and many more. And each of them in itself have many categories like shallow garlands, weak garlands, droopy arcades, sharp angles, wide or big arcades, flat arcades. Threading is one of the other strokes, and all of them have very deep meaning in itself. which is also a very long topic of discussion. Next factor is leading and lead out strokes. Just like strokes between letters, you notice there are strokes when you start a letter or end a letter, and there are several kinds here as well, which again is a very long topic of discussion, and they indicate different things. There can be hook lead-ins or tick marks at the end, many more, and they can also be missing, like the one in this sample. The last most important thing to analyze are individual letters. Yes, I'm talking about A to Z. Each letter has a different meaning and a different trait of a person, and each letter can be written in various formations which describes different things about the person. I'll just give a few examples to give an overview. Letters like A, O, E, S describe the talkative nature, the secretive nature of a person. Letters like F can talk about the quick-mindedness or the sharp wit or emotional repression of a person. Letters like K can talk about the rebellious nature of a person. Letter I and T are termed as the most favorite letter of a graphologist because they have been written in several variations and hence can give a lot about a person, like their goals, their ambitions, their determination, their procrastination, stubbornness, and a lot more. Now, when I say top 10 things, that doesn't mean there are only 10 things that a graphologist uses to analyze any handwriting sample. There are many more things that come, such as pressure, rhythm, speed, letter form quality. Is it legible? Is it illegible? Is it connectedness, disconnectedness, printed writing, aesthetic writing, many more, which cannot be covered in one video. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it and got a little information about the behind the scenes, and I'll see you in the next video. If you liked the video, please do like, share and subscribe, and do follow us on Instagram.